This video is the second part of Sam's Tricks Teacher Compendium. It will cover some of the more advanced functionalities of the app which you can use to make the most of Sam's tricks with your classes. To understand this video, you need to be familiar with Sam's Tricks main features and what a class, a race, and a hike is. If you aren't sure about it, we recommend that you watch the first two parts of Sam's Tricks user manual as well as the first two parts of the student guide which are available on this channel. Tool number 1. Terms and class points. Whenever a student participates in a race or a hike, he will earn class points. Class points serve as a central metric to assess if students are doing well or not in the class activities. The rate at which they are rewarded can be found in the class card by clicking on the question mark button. You can edit these rules by navigating to the classes page, opening the action menu at the upper right corner of the page, and choosing Terms. In this modal, you can also decide which term is currently active. Note that you can still hold races and hikes on inactive terms. The only difference is that the active term score will be displayed in the class card and in each student's avatar menu. This system allows you to split your school year into terms and have separate counts for each of them. You can also convert term scores into grades easily under the Terms tab in the class page. Tool number 2. Individual extra time. When you create a race, you can allow students to use extra time if you think some of the tricks might be too difficult for them. Obviously, some students will need more time than others to finish a race, so you also have the option to allow individual students to use more extra time than the others. To achieve this, you first need to navigate to the class page. Then, edit the values in the extra time column according to each student's needs. Then, go back to the races page and, while editing the race, use the individual extra time option to apply all or part of that extra time allowance. Using individual extra time will help you keep all of your students invested in the race. High-performing students will aim to finish the race as fast as they can to earn medals for themselves. Lower-performing students will take their time. They might not get medals, but they will be able to finish the race. Tool number 3. Race penalties. When a student abandons a trick during a race, he suffers a time penalty. This penalty exists to prevent students from quitting tricks before the end when they are not happy with their performance. In the Race Edit modal, you can set the percentage of time, compared to the maximum time the trick would take, this penalty amounts to. While the race is in progress, if a student gets a penalty he or she doesn't deserve, you have the ability to remove it. To do this, open the Performance modal, find the name of the student in the drop-down menu at the bottom, click on the penalty, and then on the Remove button. Tool number 4, Performance Verification. At some point, you might want to be sure that your students are solving tricks without any outside help. Sam's Tricks offers a simple verification system which you can use to let the app know that you are physically supervising students and can attest that they are not cheating in any way. The Verification Center is located in your avatar menu. There are multiple ways of using this functionality. The easiest way is to select a class and then click the green play icon in the lower right corner. The whole class will be considered as verified for a period of 30 minutes. A green badge is displayed on your avatar as long as you're verifying. Students will have the same badge on their avatar, letting them know that they are being verified. If you want to add more time, click the plus icon on the right. If you want to terminate the session, click the cross icon on the left. If you want more precision, click on More Options to open the Verification modal. There you can select students individually. You can also search for students by name. Note that the search functionality only works if you have your school set up in Sam's Tricks and that students are in a class which belongs to your school. More on schools in the next video. Finally, you can also verify students through a code. Open your avatar menu and start the verification. This will generate a code that you can give to your students. They will be able to use it to send you a request. Once you have validated the request, the verification will begin. Once students are verified, an icon will appear next to their performances in their trick history. Most importantly, verification can be used during races. One of the race options is to require verification. This can be done by you or by another teacher from your school. If this option is activated, students' performances will only be recorded if they are being verified. Tool number 5, Class Practice. Class Practice is a quick activity you can use when your students do not have access to a computer. It allows you to display questions drawn from tricks and show them on a smartboard or through a projector. Simply head to the Classes page and open the panel at the top of the page. There, you should start by selecting a class. The app will then suggest tricks and tracks adapted to its students. You can also search for tricks and tracks by title. Once you have selected the tricks you want to use, you can set a handful of options and click the Start button to begin the practice. The options include making 2 sets of questions, a blue one and a red one, picking a random student for each question and displaying his or her name with the question, adding or removing time for each question, and many more. With these tools, you can organize dynamic and stimulating mental calculation sessions in your class. This concludes the second part of Sam's Tricks Teacher Compendium. The next part will go beyond your own classes and talk about marathons and schools.